You're in the office, baby. Going up.
I said, rage! Motherfucker! Motherfucker! Yeah! Rage! Motherfucker! Motherfucker!
What you tried to do, you couldn't destroy me. I'm still standing. I'm still strong.
Speaking of, have you recently or have you had a chance, K-Dot, to hear Drake's album? Honestly, never mind.
I listened to some of it again. It's growing. It wasn't as bad as first listen. That's all I'll say.
Some people feel different.
And I knew people was gonna do this because I was literally I literally saw a meme of it. Afion Crockett, he dropped the video on Instagram and he put in the caption, trying not to like Drake's song on one of the albums, but he's like dance to his shit. He started dancing to it. It
started getting catchy a little bit.
It's gonna take a couple of listens, probably 2 or 3, and you gonna like it. Like it's house party music. Well, it's not. It's that house.
So everybody saying that he put this in the dance genre. Drake did not make this clear when he said I'm about to drop this album at 12 o'clock midnight. That this is gonna be dance or hip hop.
Yeah,
he
should have told us like what it.
Yeah.
Because it was a unexpected drop, came out of nowhere, no big promotion behind it. Yeah.
After it dropped, then it went under dance genre.
I was expecting, some like Jimmy. My favorite song on the album is Jimmy Crooks, which is Drake.
Man, no, Sticky is the best song on that damn album. It is. I mean, if you want, because like to me, first, I guess because like the whole time I was listening to the album, it was up until that point when it got the Sticky. I was like, okay, finally, damn, rap, thanks.
Like, damn,
I don't know. I like that song though, but to me, I was feeling certain songs before, but like I still don't care for the album fully. And to me, I listened to it again, and I was just like, I wish he would have had more lyrics. I wish he would have had more lyrics. I was like, you are so lyrical, and you just left us with all this music. And I know what house music is, and because I listened to house music before, and I'm just like, what you say, K-Dot?
No, I was saying, I was agreeing with you.
Oh.
Yeah, you gotta understand where Drake at in his career right now. He got plenty of hip hop.
I'm just saying this is my point of view of his album. This is how I view the album. So, like,
because what you said about Sticky, I'm sitting there like, man, but then like cut the show off and we get off here, I might be in here like
I tell you, man. Like I said, I already knew I was gonna like some of the songs because you remember the first day I was like, I like it. I was working out to it.
Yeah, that's the one. Him and Drake and 21 got some chemistry. Like I said, Drake, shout out to Tony. Drake got a lot of hip hop albums, and if you want to listen to a Drake hip hop album, you got plenty to go listen to. Exactly. So I get what he's doing as far as his career go. And even with what he's doing, he got plenty of time as far as the summer go to drop some hip hop as far as rapping.
Yeah, and I'll say even the recent song Drake like featuring like Churchill Downs with what Drake I notice is doing, he's hopping on people's songs, giving them that credit, and he's going hard like rapping and shit, like rapping. So even though
he's not rapping like Pusha T, but he rapping.
Right. I'm at this point with like Drake, like he has done so much where like I'm totally fine with experimenting because his catalog is so good that I have something else to fall back onto or check out.
It depends on what labels they both on.
Yeah, it's
And ladies gotta play nice.
It's not like he's a fresh new artist, or if he's an artist like starting out in a certain genre then branching out. Because Drake started what, R&B first or rapping? He kind of did both. He did both.
He kind of did both.
Yeah, but then he's done so much where like he has the ability and opportunity to experiment and just do whatever.
That's what I'm.
Because he is eventually gonna give us back something that we do want.
And we gotta remember, we're talking about our opinion. You know how many rich people gonna be on yachts playing this shit, having parties to this?
Hell yeah. I must say he ain't missing out on nothing. That's why I was like, why people. That's why I said why people tripping about this. Like, exactly. I was like, why people tripping about this? He did not make this for us. We is not his target audience. Like, we ain't stupid. All of this is marketing. Stop it.
I will say something though.
I like some house music. It's just that it took
go ahead, Kayla, you good.
I like some house music. It's gonna take me a couple listens to really get into his house music. I like it, but just a couple listens, and
I think a lot of people like that. It's just him. They might like this type of music, but they like him. Like Drake, come on, man. What a hip hop there. What a raps. What a rhyme. What a 808.
I like house music. I just didn't care for his version of it. I was like, it's alright, but I like this.
And I love it when Drake sings too, but some of this music to me wasn't his best music where he sings either. In my opinion, this house.
He's not saying enough. He's saying something every 3 minutes.
I think this is another thing where it's important for producers, where producers come in. You can do a whole lot of singing, but if you ain't got a certain track that sound good as far as that production, this shit could take it all the way off. He could be sounding good as hell, but if that beat's in there like boom, 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 if you slow something down and he's sounding like.
Speaking of production, I'm about to get off track for a little bit. Did you hear that first track on that Chris Brown song, on that Chris Brown album?
I downloaded, so I don't know if they put it in order as far as like the intro and all of that, but I think they did maybe. But what's up with? Do we got a feature on it?
Yeah, it's a little dark on it.
I think that's the one. Then yeah, I like that one too.
It's called "Till the Wheels Fall Off."
Yeah, I like that one.
First of all, that song is long as fuck. It felt like it went on forever. But
I like that one.
Did you? I had a little emo moment. They sample God, what's the name of that group?
Nirvana.
No.
Was it a rock group?
No. Linkin Park.
Oh,
yep. Okay.
Yeah, they sampled Linkin Park. I was like, oh shit. I was feeling it.
That's the group that collaborated with Jay-Z back in the day, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I'm thinking about.
Encore track.
Yeah. They did a whole album. Solo. They did a whole album of mashing up their music. That was like the best shit for me ever because I like Linkin Park alone.
If it was a rock group I listened to, that was the group.
Because they had a rapper. I mean, he did what he did.
And they always play their videos in the morning on the way to school on MTV. Because I had that shit playing in the morning, and they video come up, and a specific song that'll come up that I actually like.
It's too damn early to be feeling so much shit.
Goddamn, get in your guitar, goddamn rock mode. I'm right there with you, dude. K-Dot, you ain't on that Linkin Park?
I like Linkin Park. I listen to rock.
R.I.P. Chester.
I listen to Green Day. I listen to Green Day and Arbor. I listen to a bunch of rock music. Nirvana.
Is Green Day the one that sampled the Michael Jackson one? Where I always heard like, "Tell me, do you want me? Do you want me?" It was that video that came on all the time. You know what I'm talking, man?
Yeah, I think I agree.
That shit was fire. That shit was fire. Shout out to Green Day. If that was their song.
I think it was Green Day. Look, you gonna have me looking this shit up.
Speaking of house music though, it's another artist that ended up dropping a single that had some house music in it, but seemed like there wasn't no issue with that. Beyonce. She came out with "Break My Soul" this week because she working on her new album, Renaissance.
Have you ever sat and listened to the words to 7-Eleven?
I like
that.
About
Beyonce, right?
Yeah, Beyonce's song 7-Eleven. Have you never listened to the word? First of all, when she dropped that, that's when I knew Beyonce can drop any goddamn thing and people gonna listen. Cause that song is a bunch of nonsense. And I'm just like,
I haven't heard that song, but what you saying as far as Beyonce dropping something and anybody gonna listen? Yeah. Not saying this new song is bad, because it's not.
Oh, the new song is not bad. I love it.
Not at all. I'm just saying though, it's people saying, man, Drake, why you doing this and that? But it's like Beyonce, like, oh yeah, let's go.
It's so funny and it's true because that's what happens.
And I think hip hop, R&B, two different things.
Society, it's just society. Beyonce could have came out doing.
Just my world too.
It was just like, what is she about to do next? Because she didn't. She wants to do it all, and she's gonna keep up with what's next.
Drake, same way. He's done all the same things.
And that's my thing. That's my thing with Drake too. Like, I'm not hard on Drake because his album, because he has so much good credit with me, and it's the same with Beyonce. Like, they can do whatever the fuck they want. They can do country music, and I wouldn't be mad at it. And if they even wasn't good at it, I'd be all like, all right, you didn't do good here, but I know you're gonna give me some good shit later. You just didn't do good here, and I'm gonna admit you didn't do good here. But you
think about what he did with the 21 Savage song. He was like, you know, I'm gonna throw all this shit on here, but I'm gonna give y'all something.
Right.
I'm gonna give y'all something. And that's what Beyonce gonna do. What you think that next single gonna be? You think it's gonna sound like this? No.
I did like that I really did like that 7-Eleven song though. It's on the playlist.
No, there's nothing wrong. I'm not trying to down the song. It's just like, sit there and say the lyrics verbatim. Like, don't say it to the beat. Just sit there and say it, and just try not to feel like silly saying it, because you can't. Because it's just, it don't sound like English. But I mean, I'm pretty sure there's a meaning to why they saying what they saying. But it's just like, you know, it just sounds like random English.
Is Drake killing hip hop with his new album as far as house music? Because everybody feel like this.
It's not
hip
hop.
Why these niggas overreacting? Why are these niggas overreacting? Sit down.
Keyword, K-Dot, what you just said, it's not hip hop.
Yeah, I mean, there's one hip hop song on it, but it's like, it's not killing. Drake
one hip hop song on the album does not make a hip hop album.
But see, that's why I said, as far as Drake saying, you should have said this is going to not be a hip hop album before he dropped it. That's all I was saying. Because when he dropped it, of course, it went into the category and genre of dance music, but he didn't say it was going to be that type of album. He just said it's going to be a summer album.
Okay, this moment, ain't nothing wrong with that. Y'all projected and was wrong. Stop projecting. Stop. Let's learn a new word. We learned narcissist. We learned accountability. Now let's learn projection. Stop projecting. Okay. Everybody thought he was about to come with some bars. I was like, I don't know what to expect. So when I started playing it and I heard that little thump in the back, I was like, okay. So this how we start now, and it just kept going like that, and I was like, damn, I thought I was gonna get some hip hop, but I guess not. And I mean, and I just went on with my life and didn't care, cause like,
let's remember,
Drake don't run the world.
Kendrick Lamar just dropped the album. If y'all want to hear like hip hop, it's
right?
Like a lot of hip hop music out here. Pusha T dropped the album.
It's
like hip hop out here.
Still,
because this is the thing. This is the thing, right? And a lot of people say this. It's like there's so many artists in underground, not underground, mainstream. It's just when you listen to only just the mainstream shit. I'm not saying even the mainstream stuff. There's still people in the mainstream rapping right now.
Yes, exactly.
Whether they new or OG, like it's there. Just look for it. Stop getting stuck in a bubble. Stop repeatedly listening to the same shit over and over.
You know what? I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you what it is. I'm gonna tell you exactly what it is. We're gonna learn a new word again. Scarcity.
Facts,
Scarcity mindset. Facts. So think about Hollywood and how it was back in the day in the music industry. There was not many of us. Now there is plenty of us, and it still needs to be more of us, especially representatives of hip hop, and we need to own the hip hop because it's our genre. You know, I'm always fighting for that. But they think that the older people are thinking like it's still only us and we got a gatekeep, and it's like hip hop is universal now. Like we
they tried to kill Nicki Minaj when she tried to do the pop sound. They was all over her. She just rap like, why are you doing pop? Why are you trying to do that?
Yeah.
Somebody
They
trying to
got
put
mad
themselves
at
in a
Lil
dinner
Nas
genre
X
for
because
music.
he wanted to be considered country. They
I like
literally
what you said. Who country? Hold on, what you were saying?
Lil Nas X, they didn't want him to be a country music artist. They bullied him back into the black genre.
Even though that song
black
got
people
808s on it.
invented country music. It does, but that's the argument. It's like it's not country enough, and then Billy Ray was like, "I'll help with that." I mean, and then they all found out he was gay and freaked out, and everybody freaked out. Like, what the fuck, y'all?
Shout out to K-Dot too. He brought up the whole NBA YoungBoy and new Lil Nas X song, which I got to take a chance and listen to. Which I heard it sound like it's pretty straight. But
I don't think Lil Nas X makes terrible music. I just think he makes
who?
I said I don't think that Lil Nas X makes terrible music.
Oh, okay.
I think that he just makes pop music, and most people think pop is terrible because it's kind of generic and repetitive, and it's lots of things that go into it, and people don't like that. They want something that's more dynamic.
I love hip hop, but hip hop is repetitive and generic. Like what beats and what you have on many songs sound like the same beat over and over that you're listening to, especially with the 808s. No disrespect to the 808s, I'm from the South. I love the thump and all of that, but I'm saying, you know how many beats or artists I listen to? I'm like, damn, whose song is that? That sound like the same thing I just heard the other day. Like that sound like the same beat I just heard. Think about people who drop albums that have that same beat on rotation. Right. It sound like the same 808s here.
When I heard when Quavo was putting out his album, his single for the album, that Bubblegum song, if you listen to the instrumental, it kind of sounds like Timbaland's Say Something instrumental. The sample literally almost sounds the same. Listen to Bubblegum, listen to Say Something. The beats are kind of the same.
He might have sampled it. They doing that. They sampling old and new. I mean,
yes.
old rap.
Even though
that ain't even that old. They ain't that we.
Because that's not old.
They sampling shit from like 20 years ago. Yeah, they sampling shit from like 20 to 25 years ago, and it's like at this point, I the nostalgia of us is being sampled.
Before shout out Tony. Before I get to that one, Tony, I like what you said as far as Drake wanted to surprise fans with the house music. That's another thing. Drake has other fans outside of hip hop fans, and he has other fans that listen to the other music that he does.
Yeah.
This almost was like not the reaction, but kind of what the sound was from Views from the Six. That's the one I'm thinking about, because he kind of had a more similar tone on that as far as singing a little bit more on it. As far as Views from the
Views just wasn't good in general. He had no hits like that. That's the last Drake album I'll be going to it. That's the last Drake album I'll be going to. Views just wasn't.
They can't all be winners. Like, bruh.
You ain't like Views.
Who me?
Nah, Views was.
Oh, I'm talking to K-Dot.
Oh.
I like Views. I like Views. It ain't one of my favorite ones from him, but I like Views.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's just not. It's definitely not one of his good ones, in my opinion. Out of all his albums, it's not one of his good ones.
Definitely true, Tony. I mean, they treat other artists like that outside of Drake. Think about somebody like Nas who try to do something. Well, he don't try to go outside of doing something different, but he did something with Bob Marley, and you can think somebody looking at him like, man, come on, what you doing?
Well, Bob Marley, it was Damian. It was Damian Marley.
My bad.
Bob Marley, R.I.P. I mean, it's his son. His son. It is his son.
But just him trying to do that as far as the different sounds, he definitely didn't have traditional
and then
hip-hop sounds.
The jazz album, like when he was trying to do the jazz stuff, and people didn't appreciate that. And I was like, y'all some haters. I was like, at least he doing something different. Oh, but then Jay-Z came in with something that was slightly different. Everybody was like,
oh yeah. Well, they didn't really get on Jay-Z when he did the Linkin Park thing, though.
No, they did.
It sounded good, too.
It did. It was magic. It was magic. Actually sounded good. Sheer magic. It was beautiful.
And I think because Jay-Z does have, to be fair, more credit compared to another artist. Like he had already more clout and credit compared to someone. It's also that I think it's that bias too. Like Jay-Z did so much that he can get away with doing. Jay-Z could do fucking he can make fucking hillbilly music at this point.
Yeah,
Like some good rootin' tootin' hillbilly music.
Rootin' tootin' hillbilly. What is hillbilly?
That was kind of a different time at that point, though, as far as when he did with Linkin Park.
Yeah, and also that
that was very innovative to
like,
mix two different groups, completely different groups.
Right. And we have to remember that's when rock was at its height. Even black people,
you know what,
was really listening. Like in the early 2000s, we was like really a little bit more accepting of some of the rock music back then. Because in my opinion, the early 2000s rock music compared to the rock music now, I kind of fell off from it. I'm listening to a lot of the older rock music compared to the new rock music.
I didn't know white people was so pressed that rock music is in the top 2 categories. Like the top 2 categories of music listened to is pop and hip hop / rap. Like those are the top 2. It used to be rock and pop. Yeah. Go back and forth all the time. Now it's pop and hip hop / rap.
But I don't see why that would be something like that because hip hop is so much influenced by rock and roll. Look at your little Uzi Verts, Playboy Cardis. Like,
no. What we not gonna do is not act like that. Black people did not invent the genre
of rock and roll
in the first place. They stole like nigga, they stole our swagger from every.
I get it. I know.
That's just like when Alton Brown had to correct that person trying to talk about that Korean got the best fried chicken, which I ain't tried none yet, but that's on my bucket list type of shit. I gotta find some good Korean fried chicken. And then Alton Brown was like, you know why it's so good?
That's different.
He was like, you know why it's so good? He was like, because the African Americans taught them how to fry their chicken during the war.
I mean, think about the fact that we love Chinese wings so much. Like,
yo, I was like, see,
but
constantly.
Gotti, he feeling like Drake's album is pretty much killing hip hop. It's on the decline, and we need a new DMX. I don't know where all that came from because, like I said, this wasn't supposed to be a hip hop album. And once it dropped, that was clear. It wasn't nowhere near hip hop. It said damn. So I don't think it was nowhere near this serious. It ain't killing hip hop. I mean, we got Pusha T album once again that's just dropped. Nas dropped King Disease 1 and 2. He dropped another album that wasn't called King Disease. Yeah, Magic. And he about to drop King Disease 3. I mean, we got plenty of good hip hop out here that's still dropping.
Right, and that's the thing. Like, it's Tech Nine still doing, like, all these old heads these older rappers is still doing music. Like the people he listened to still doing music to an extent, but they still
act
doing
like
music.
I mean, are they saying Drake got that much pull that he can change the current of and trends and shit?
No,
I'm like, damn it.
People Drake always want to hear some hip hop.
Drake does have that pull now to be doing that, but like he's not doing. Drake is far from the reason rap would be going downhill. He's actually
facts, absolutely,
exactly.
It's a way bigger issue, Irv Gotti, and you don't want to talk about.
Notice we didn't say that his rap songs on this dance album are bad. We praising the rap songs.
Just, as far as our opinion and what our ear want to hear.
Drake.
Exactly.
Like
Drake
I wanted to hear some rap or whatever, but these songs are bad. What you said, K-Dot?
No, they not.
Like Drake is literally, and this is a fact, he's one of the top 5 rappers right now. That's true. I mean,
no, he's not irrelevant. I'm just he got a little opinion because he had a lot of it. Well, not even influence. He brought a lot of artists in here, including DMX, as far as rap. Jay-Z. I mean, he had a lot of influence behind those artists coming in, but.
Do we need a new DMX?
You said what?
Do we need a new DMX?
No, and that's the main thing. We never will get a new DMX. That's very important.
That's why I'm like, what is the new DMX?
Another thing is, if I'm not mistaken, Irv Gotti, you had artists like Ja Rule that did pop. Like, nigga, what did you talk about? Like, these niggas was doing pop. They had a whole video based off Grease. Like, if they don't get more pop than that,
we don't need a new, like, for example. Pop Smoke, prime example. A lot of people saw a little bit of 50 Cent in him, but he had his own sound and own voice to stand out enough. But it's like I wouldn't want him to be the new 50 Cent. It's like you have some similarities to 50 Cent, but you stand out enough that you are still on your own. Like, you don't want a new DMX. Like DMX,
I hate when people do that.
DMX is unique. That's him. We don't need a new DMX, because if that happens, then everybody gonna be saying, "Bro, you just sound like DMX."
Like they do with everybody else that sound like somebody else.
Yeah, it's
like that's like they doing Chloe Bailey. Oh, you want to be the new? That's Beyonce protege, so she mini Beyonce, and it's like, no, she Chloe. Like, let that child be Chloe. Like,
right.
You know.
It's like you really don't want them to be somebody else, because then you're gonna get mad at them when they not being themselves. You can make the similar that you kind of sound like this dude, but don't expect them to be them, because then you're gonna get mad when they start being like that. If they do give you what you want, because eventually that's what it's gonna be.
Facts.
First it turns to
we
love.
do that with a lot of artists.
Then
I
it
can
turns
go way back in time. I think about an artist like Shine. That was on point say you sound like Biggie Smalls. Just saying, just our voice wise. Hell, speaking of Biggie Smalls, I don't know if y'all ever heard of this artist, but Gorilla Black, you look like Biggie Smalls. Like, it was always like these little comparisons here and there to these other artists, whether they had a similar voice or a similar tone or even rap a similar way. It was making these comparisons. So when you do something different, it's like it's kind of refreshing, because now you don't get somebody that sound like somebody, or getting some production that don't sound like everybody else. Kanye West, when he came and doing what he was doing, for real.
So I went out there broke. I wasn't even thinking about acting. I was just thinking about surviving. But such is life. I ended up doing it what I love the most. I ended up doing both of those things.